Y'all ready? Okay. Good morning. I'd like to call to order the June 8th Mobile County Commission meeting. We're going to start with a prayer. Dana, do we have anyone giving prayer?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll be more than glad to do so, and then we'll stand for the pledge. Let's go ahead and stand if we would. Dear Heavenly Father, we give you praise this morning, Lord. We give you praise for the rain, for the beautiful flowers it will produce. Lord, we just ask a peace upon this meeting and a peace upon our lives and a peace on this country. Give us godly wisdom that we can plant our seeds into. And we just hold this whole meeting up to you, Lord. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Dina, we have any speakers?
Good morning, Commissioners. Yes, you have Mr. Paulinet here to speak before the Commission.
Ladies, I think Tim's got a presentation for us to look back here on if we want to move down.
Okay.
And you should have this.
Okay.
Help him explain. Good morning, Tim. I'm sorry.
Good morning.
I know what you're doing. I was trying to get them caught up real quick.
Yes, sir. And I'm not sure how to make it do on the other screen, but I'll give it my best try. I'll start while you are relocating. The purpose of this presentation is I recently purchased Yes, sir. I recently purchased property at 3675 Schillinger Road. The whole north section of the property Is that better? Okay. I think it's on. Test. Yeah, I've just had it moved back so I can see my own screen. That's okay. The proper north end is covered with Hall Mill Creek, and just to give you an idea of where it's located at, it's between Cottage Hill and Three Notch, just about halfway. The second, the middle hill is the middle of that property. This is a survey of the north end of the property. Malls has the very top section, that half mile of that property is sewer lines, utilities. So it's, and there's some sort of conduit that dips down into where the creek's at. I don't know what that is, frank with you. I haven't read the information on that yet. This is the information I've obtained from the county. This is a floodway. If you notice how it widens out as soon as it crosses the street there, that's because the construction material that has gotten away from construction sites in the past have made its way to this creek. And it's shallowed the creek out and widened it. So it's more prone to flooding now. And it also holds a lot of water. It makes flooding upstream more prevalent. And it also disrupts the flow of water to the Dog River. What I'm suggesting to do, this is a wetland survey of the property. You can see that there's in the red line is basically my property, except the creek that's on the eastern side. I only have about 700-800 feet that reach over to that roadway. The rest of the property line is that creek. That creek on the eastern end is beautiful. It's about 1.5 feet deep, 2 feet wide. It's got about 300 cubic feet a minute of movement in it. So it's a beautiful, clear creek. It has little fish in it. It's got a lot of trash in it, cups, plastic bottles. There's some snags in it where trees have fallen over in it and they're catching that debris. And we're going to clean that up. Mike Patawomack, we'll be spending time cleaning the wetlands, removing all the trash from the property and cleaning it up to make it more in its natural state. What I'm proposing that we do is use and borrow technology from the gold industry. They remove small amounts of material. They're not using digging material. Paul's Mill Creek, we're not interested in removing heavy dirt. We only want to remove it back to its previous state, and that would be removing the silt, the sedimentations that happened from the previous construction projects. This is more of a device that's geared for that. The other one that you saw is a gold mining one. This is also a gold mining, but it doesn't support a diver. We don't need a diver for Halls Mill Creek because it's so small. This type of dredging operation would be more geared for that. It's simply just a hand nozzle that you can either mount on a rod and do it from a pontoon boat, or a barge, a small barge. And this would be the end result. We would need to move the material from where it's located out to a sedimentation pond to collect the sediments. And this is a device that is not really applicable to the Halls Mill Creek, but it does have the ability for the operator to stay above the water. Is it? Yeah, it's on. It has the ability for the operator to stay out of the water. It's more suited for our environment. Our people would be safer. As you can see, that particular device is tiny. It uses a single motor, and it's very powerful. Yes, sir. And I'm going to offer my property, parts of my property, to put the dredgings. That's probably the largest single problem with dredging any kind of waterway is where do you put the dredgings?
So what is your motivation for wanting to dredge the creek?
I want it to look good. I want it to be pretty. This whole property has been neglected for the last 30 to 40 years. It contains yard waste, trash, paint cans, all deposited by the neighborhood. If you go out there and you walk around the neighborhood, everywhere you walk within, say, 150 feet from their perimeter is trash. There's motorcycles. They recently just dumped concrete on it, tree limbs. So the property's it's a green space now, but it's being abused. There's a ravine that's about 700 feet long, 40 feet deep, about 35 to 40 feet wide. There's roughly 5,000 to 6,000 cubic yards of material that's been removed over the past 30 to 40 years. And that material is in the wetlands. And based on my conversations with the Corps of Engineers, the wetlands are protected. So it's a bad thing when sediments end up in the wetlands. What I'm proposing to do is to remove those sediments, clean up the waterway, get the water moving to Dog River. This way we don't have a big pile of water every time we have a 6-inch rain event like we did last night. If you want to know how the process works, simply you suck up the material and you let it sit. It'll filter its way out, it'll settle to the bottom. I'm proposing to give you a large enough piece of property to hold that water for 24 hours, get the sediments out of it, and then control the release of it. But this is just more about the sand mixture and how you dilute it, get it out of the water. I'm sorry. Well, my computer doesn't want to respond. Let's see if I can get it to go to the next slide. These are the point of contacts that I've already made, and it's not going to let me do that for some reason. Ah, there we go. Let me go back. I've made contacts with 4 people, well, 3 other people other than myself. Eric Buckaloo, who is a United States Corps of Engineers contact, he said he would support that effort. He's even going to introduce me to 2 people Corps that would help us with the process, design the process would work. I spoke to Tim Cole, or I'm not sure how to say his last name. He said it so fast and just once. But he also would support a Halls Mill Creek restoration project. And then, of course, Matthew Barclift is the engineer here in Mobile County. He's on board with that too, basically. And I own the property, so I'm going to be the one looking for a place to put the materials. Let me see if I can shrink this. This is back to this wetland delineation. What I'm proposing to do is this piece of property here is already, Schillinger Road is a big, tall bank. There. Let's go back to the previous. This area here is roughly 50 feet below the neighborhood. Just a drastic drop off there. And that creek that you're seeing right here is the storm drain from this roadway. So it would be pretty easy to just build a dike system out to here, release the water into here, monitor it before it goes into the creek, and make sure that it's clean. And that way we could remove the material and supervise its separation process. Where I need your help. I need your help in this machine. What I need help with is, I'm not a political person. I'm a good old boy that used to move a lot of dirt when he was in his 20s, and I've been in the technical industry for the last 30 years. I own an alarm company, and I'm one of the best fire alarm techs in the country. And I'm not just saying that. The world's largest retailer flies me wherever they need me to fix their problems. And I try to make as much money off of them as I can. But I don't know how to go about getting funding. I've been told that there are grants from the Corps. And I'm finding the permitting process foreign to me. In the early 80s, late 70s, I was an equipment operator. I didn't run the business, so I don't know the laws and the process. And of course, it was in St. Louis, so the process in Mobile, Alabama is completely different, I'm sure. But I don't have any experience with that process. I don't know how to get the permits. I don't know how to get the oversight in place. So I'm looking for some help and guidance in getting that done. And that's the reason I'm here today. Yes, sir. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tim. Real quick, Tim,
Yes, sir.
we've got Matthew here. I have met with the neighborhood associations were going to be here.
Yes,
We
sir.
encourage them to be, lights. We encourage them to be online and actually watch this right now, assuming that they are.
Okay.
They also understand that we do not have a permit process in the county as to what they're looking for. Their concerns are many. One being noise, the other one being actual access to and from Schillingers. That's one that I certainly have got some issues with. I don't know exactly where you're proposing to do that, but that's left up to our engineers over here, where you get what we call a curb cut. And then the environmental side goes through obviously our environmental department, which works hand in hand with Corps of Engineers. And yes, I'm sure that our drainage issues are much different than St. Louis's. I mean, we're flat here, so
Right.
water drainage. So I would love to help you on the environmental side.
Okay.
But we follow the lead of our environmental folks, because they they know a whole lot more than the commission does, and we listen to them.
Yes, sir.
And then they will try everything within their power to work with the Corps of Engineers, because ultimately that's who we have to make happy.
Right.
So there's a lot of hurdles here, and I would encourage you to, I'm sorry, I would encourage you maybe to slow down a little bit and try to tap into Matthew Barcliff, our environmental department, and the Corps of Engineers, because it won't take much of a mistake, and it'll be very expensive for you.
Right.
When we're talking about the Corps of Engineers,
Well,
so
I
that
figure the planning stage will take at least 2 years. I don't think the Corps will move very fast, and I think everything's going to have to come as far as direction and how to do it. They're going to have to be the ones to tell us how to do it, because that's.
Of course they will. I mean, they tell us how to do it. I mean, we're all answerable to the engineers at the end of the day.
What I'm trying to accomplish today is the next step is to open talks with the Corps of Engineers. ADM is totally disinterested. They'll support whatever we want to do. But
Who's disinterested?
ADM,
Okay.
the Department of Environmental
Right.
Management, unless we're going to disturb more than an acre of property, they really don't want to be involved. In fact, the conversations I had with them, they coached me on how to get around getting a permit for disturbing less than 1 acre. They want me to do it in small increments so that they're not involved.
I would highly encourage you to do it the way the Corps of Engineers wants you to do it.
Yes, sir.
I liked your presentation, and I appreciate that. I would also encourage you, maybe we could have, and I have an office very close to this property,
Yes, sir.
and we could have a homeowners association, maybe invite some of the heads of the homeowners association. I got to stop and think. It depends on how many people we're talking about.
Right.
But I should have the office facility to get, a handful of people together. Let's try to figure out
Okay.
in a peaceful manner how we can find a happy medium here.
Right.
Because I truly think that they have got, they're worried about 6 o'clock in the morning and four-wheelers by the side of their house.
I'm going to be frank with you. This is a retirement project for me. I'm not
Yeah.
going to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I understand. Is this for you personally? But you're going to lease it
I'm
out?
going to run the park.
Okay.
I'm going to do it myself. I have a passion for four-wheel drives and
Well, we all do.
ATVs,
Yeah.
and I like to get muddy sometimes.
Yeah.
But I don't see the park opening before 9 o'clock in the morning, and the insurance companies that I'm dealing with will not allow open after dark. So we'd have
Okay,
to
and
shut
these
down
are the
the-
things that your these neighborhood associations need to know so they can give back to people.
I'm available. I normally do a lot for a big corporate. I'm a subcontractor for a
Right.
world's largest retailer.
Right.
Without saying their name, they're the biggest retailer in the world. And when they say jump, I say, hi, how long do you want me to stay there, and where do you want me to go?
That pays
So-
the bills.
Yes, sir.
We've got one of those down here. He does the same thing.
So if I'm needed, if they call me in this meeting, I'll leave the meeting.
Yeah.
Because they put a lot of money in my.
Well, I appreciate your time. The only thing the county has input on is the environmental side.
Yes, sir.
And where the curb cut is at, and I've been very clear about that.
Yes, sir.
The curb cut will come through our engineers. We've actually got a traffic engineer that would design that, because pulling, especially a trailer, getting sideways on Schillinger's Road would be a challenge.
Right.
Uh,
And I've got an engineer working on that as well.
Okay, good, good.
They're waiting for the as-bills from Schillinger Road. I've taken the measurements. We've got about feet more than what we need from, if you use the summit
Okay.
point of measurement. So-
Well, again, I would highly encourage you, let's try to put together, I mean, it's a little busy time for me.
Yes, sir.
But, let's start putting some people together
Yes, sir.
that can go back and talk to the neighborhoods and
I actually,
try to sell your idea and them try to convince you what their fears are.
yes, sir.
So both sides can be heard out.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
And I'm available for that.
Thank you.
And I
Thanks,
have,
Tim.
I have a question.
No, sorry.
Commissioner. And I just thank you for the presentation. We are all about cleaning up our waterways and improving the ecosystems in Mobile County. I guess you mentioned the impediments to bringing this about with the different agencies, Corps of Engineers, ADM, so forth, and trying to work with them to get this accomplished. But I think the major thing is the source of funding. Do you have any idea how much a project like this would cost?
I don't. And this is really and truly the earliest stages of this. To be frank with you, I didn't want to put a lot of energy in it if nobody was interested in pursuing it. I've done some research on dredging equipment. Those float things that I put up there, those can be bought for about $5,000. And if it's something that I can put my extra manpower on, once a week, they go out there and work for a couple hours, and they're not causing a big environmental problem in the process, I'm all for spending all my money. I just don't have the, I don't have the big dollar to drop in the bucket and say, get it all done today. So I'm willing to do that, but I don't know how to get it done.
Okay.
I don't know how to get the waterway approvals. And so the place has the potential to be a very beautiful place. I mean, it's nice and flat. There's meadows out there that once the trees are cut back, there'll be grassy meadows out there. It'll be a place that you can, I intend to have Boy Scouts out there. I've got 3 kids in the Scouts, and I intend for 150 Scouts to be out there camping in one day. So,
Well, thank you
Thank
again.
you very
for giving
much.
us wonderful insight. Any more questions? Matthew, have you got anything that you feel like you need to add?
No, sir. Not at this time.
Okay, thank you. All right, thanks again, Tim. Yes, sir. Any other speakers?
There are no other speakers, Commissioner.
All right. I see we have the chamber folks with us today. What an honor. Good morning. All right, then, can we get started?
Number 1, approve the list of claims.
So moved.
Second.
Number 2, approve application of Srijai 1 LLC for off-premise retail beer and table wine license.
So moved.
Second.
Number 3, adopt a resolution authorizing request of the Sheriff's Office to dispose of certain items from fixed assets inventory list.
So moved.
Second.
Number 4, approve reappointment of Nicole N. Patel as a member of the Board of Trustees of Mobile Sports Authority, Inc. for a 3-year term ending May 26, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Number 5, approve software purchase and annual maintenance agreement with Bentley Systems Incorporated Visa GSA contract under the 2019 Justice Assistance Grant for the Sheriff's Office.
So moved.
Second.
Number 6, approve investment purchases with county funds by the treasurer for May 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Number 7, hold a public hearing related to the creation of a small business relief grant program to promote economic development, providing funding to eligible small businesses that are experiencing financial hardship with COVID-19 public health crisis located in Mobile County, Alabama.
So at this time, I'd like to call to order a public meeting. Do we have anyone here to speak for or against this proposal? Hearing no,
I think we do.
we do. All right.
Our chamber president and CEO.
Come on down.
Good morning.
Good morning.
See y'all. I am Bill Sisson, President of the Mobile Area Chamber of Commerce and your partner in economic development here in Mobile. I did want to thank the Commission for moving forward with this critical grant program for small businesses throughout the county. And I commend you on the timing, actually. The last 2.5 months, of course, have been tremendously challenging for the business community. We, of course, have been engaging not only with our members, but non-members as well. So we've heard from thousands of businesses here in this region. And this has especially hit small businesses, as you know, which are the lifeblood of any economy, and certainly the case here in Mobile. A recent survey that we conduct in partnership with 9 other civic organizations and associations here in Mobile that was just not even 2 weeks ago. It revealed that there are hundreds of businesses that are certainly affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. 9 out of 10 of them, in fact, and we were a little surprised that there was even 1 out of 10 that were not impacted, but 9 out of 10 say they've been tremendously impacted by COVID-19. We're assuming the ones that haven't have been the retail establishments that have been able to continue to operate, and in some cases their business is even better than typical, but 9 out of 10 are suffering. Half of the businesses that were surveyed, they tell us that they've had to reduce operations, they've reduced shifts, they have had to lower their employees' wages, and certainly a lot of people have been put on furlough. And without sufficient money to operate, they will be unable to bring back the furloughed employees. I think that's the material point, that they would be unable to bring them back because they simply can't make the ends meet. In fact, 30% of the respondents are particularly worried right now, the summer, the third quarter. That's why I say the timing, I believe, for this program is actually excellent. 36% said that they predict a continued decrease in their sales or production over the third quarter during the summer. I'll end with a sign of hope, though, and that is that 1 out of 4 say that they feel like that the fourth quarter they'll actually see an increase in sales and production. So let's look forward to that. So I guess I'm here to say that this program will certainly help tide them over during that really challenging time. We've already been through the last 2.5 months. The summer in particular will be difficult. And we appreciate the county moving forward on this. We enjoy the partnership, appreciate all that you do in economic development, and this is economic development. It's keeping our business community, in particular our small businesses, strong. So thank you for allowing us to partner with you and administer this much needed program. So thank you. I'd be happy to answer any question.
I just wanted to take the opportunity to say a big thank you to you, David Rogers, Vice President of Economic Development. It's been a real team effort. You have lent invaluable assistance in helping to create and develop the criteria for the program and studying what's happening throughout the country and even across our state. That was so very important and great information to have. And so thank you so much for all that you do for the businesses in the community and for working with us to make this possible. So, and I appreciate you being here today. We do have a press conference right after this meeting, and David and Bill will both be there and speaking at that, and we appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thank you. Again, thank you for the partnership.
Certainly.
Bill,
Appreciate it,
thank you.
President.
I appreciate the job you've done. I may or may not be here in November, but I'll tell you, it's been an absolute pleasure working with you and your
Same
staff.
here.
Even
Same
though
here.
you have David around, he is
Well,
exceptional.
it's been a team effort, and we have had great economic development in this community. This is a very, very challenging time right now. So again, I commend you on this program.
In this program, the only pushback that I've had, I feel like it's not enough. I wish there was more we could do, and there may be. You never know. We'll keep looking at it, and because the suburban Mobile County will bounce back pretty quick. It's the downtown area, the downtown restaurants, and the downtown shops that are just being devastated in my view from what I've seen. But everybody across this county needs help, and I just feel like if we had more that we could do this with. I mean, it's your taxpayer money anyway, and we're turning around and just giving it back. Basically, what we're doing.
Absolutely.
So,
And-
anyway,
Thank you for that.
And a good point, Commissioner. I think that this certainly what we are doing here today is providing some seed money. And I know that I've had conversations with Bill and David. I know there are opportunities in our community, some of the larger industries, some of the institutions. There is a lot of interest in these into stepping up and being a part of this program as well. And then as we receive money through the CARES Act, the federal funds, as they come to our community, this may be an avenue for that as well. So I think that there is a future for more funding to help our businesses, as you mentioned.
Thank you for that. And let's all hope we can make it through this quarter, and
We're gonna be
Q4
fine.
will be better.
we're
So,
going to be fine. You just watch.
Yes. Thank you very much.
All right, take care. Anyone else here to speak for or against? Okay, Glenn?
Number 8, adopt a resolution authorizing the creation of a small business relief grant program to promote economic development by providing funding to eligible small businesses that are experiencing financial hardship with COVID-19 public health crisis in Mobile County, Alabama.
So moved.
Second.
No.
Number 9, approve appointment of the following persons to serve as members of the Committee of Volunteers for Small Business Relief Grant Program. Donna Foster Allen, Mobile County Representative. Preston Bowles, Han Arundel, Legal Industry. Tyrone Fenderson, Synovus, Banking Industry. Mel Washington, SBDC, South Alabama Small Business Industry. Gina McKellard, Crow Shields Bailey, Accounting and Industry.
So moved.
Second.
Abstain.
Number 10, approve appropriation of up to $1 million to fund the Small Business Relief Grant Program, with the funding of the first $500,000 to be paid from the County Industrial Development Authority funds, and the remaining funds, if necessary, from the Mobile County General Fund.
So moved.
Second.
No.
Number 11, authorize advertisement for requests for proposals for professional consulting services for disaster and pandemic response cost recovery.
So moved.
Second.
Number 12, approve contract with Moffitt & Nichol pending legal review to provide professional planning, engineering, and related services for redeveloped battery city blocks.
So moved.
Second.
Number 13, approve contract with Atlantic Group LLC to update GIS data pending final legal review. Work product to be shared with the City of Mobile area water and sewer system to be paid out of the fiscal year 2021 budget. County cost not to exceed $50,192.95.
So moved.
Second.
Number 14, approve application to the Alabama Department of Economic and Community Affairs on behalf of the Mobile County DA's Office for the continuation of domestic violence initiative grant in the amount of $59,943.71, period of January 1st, 2021 through December 31st, 2021, with a local match in the amount of $14,985.93.
Excuse me, has somebody got their radio on? All right. Thank you.
I hear it too.
It's a phone, I think.
Second?
They need to silence it.
Okay, good, thank you.
So moved.
Second?
Number 15, authorize Commission President to sign the Coronavirus Relief Fund certification and assurance from required to be submitted to the State Comptroller's Office prior to applying for the reimbursement of eligible COVID-19 related expenditures from the CARES Act funds distributed to the state of Alabama.
So moved.
Second?
Number 16, approve proposal of Stafford and Associates, Inc. regarding the Census 2020 Awareness Campaign, Part 2, calling for all residents of the Mobile County to fill out their census forms for a cost not to exceed the amount of $100,000.
So moved.
Second?
Number 17, consider taking the following action on bids.
So moved.
Second?
Number 18, approve amending the professional service agreement with Coleman Group, Inc. to provide additional funds in the amount of $45,000 to be used for the Mobile County Summer Internship Program 2020 from District 1 funds.
So moved.
Second?
Number 19 was voted at the conference. Number 20, recommend approving an Adopt-A-Mile program application for highway adoption from James Artillery for the portion of Middle Road from Dolphin Island Parkway eastward to the end of pavement.
So moved.
Second?
Number 21, recommend adopting a resolution that Mobile County enter into agreement with the state of Alabama by and through the Alabama Department of Transportation for Alabama Transportation Rehabilitation and Improvement Program 2 project for intersection improvements, including a roundabout at State Route 188 and Irvington Bayou Battery Highway. ALDOT matching fund, the $750,000 matching funds will be included in the Mobile County 2020 Transportation Pay-As-You-Go program.
So moved.
Second?
22, recommend signing a contract for professional preliminary engineering services project, additional lanes with realignment on Air Boulevard from 0.28 miles west of Eliza Jordan Road to Snow Road to McCrory and Williams, Inc. The cost is not to exceed $509,772.
Excuse me. Looks like I cut you off. The second part of 21. Did we go through all of that?
On 21,
Yes. Did
No,
you
we didn't.
complete that? I'm sorry.
also approving an agreement for the preliminary engineering right-of-way acquisition and construction with the state of Alabama, acting by and through the Alabama Department of Transportation for intersection improvements, including a roundabout at State Route 188 and Irvington Bayou Battery Highway. Mobile County project number has yet to be determined.
For good measure, so moved.
Second?
Number 23, recommend approving application for a federal, you did, they go to 22, go ahead, you need to vote on 20.
So moved.
Second?
23, recommend approving the application for federal assistance for the Jeremiah A. Dent Airport in the amount of $684,392. Also approving the enclosed resolution authorizing the county commission to make application to the state of Alabama, acting by and through the Alabama Department of Transportation for airport funding for the Jeremiah A. Denton Airport in the amount of $38,022. This application requests available reimbursement for the preliminary engineering, construction, and construction inspection for the replaced runway 12/30 MIRL and constructing new electrical vault at the Jeremiah A. Denton Airport, Mobile County project.
So moved.
24, recommend approving supplemental agreement number 3/addendum number 2, ALDOT audit to the contract dated February 18, 2020 for the professional consultant services with Volker, Inc. for Jeremiah Denton Airport. The supplemental agreement Number 3/addendum number 2 will provide the geotechnical investigation and recommendations of the replacement runway 12/30 medium-intensity runway lights and elevated replacement electrical vault. Estimated increase in the contract is $3,675.
So moved.
Second.
25, recommended resolution consenting to the annexation of a portion of the following public streets: Anise Drive, Chutney Drive, Snow Road North, Willady Circle North, bounded by territories annexed by the city of Sims.
So moved.
Second.
26, recommend approving right-of-way and/or easements agreement with Track 11 in the amount of $63,214 and Track 20 in the amount of $1,620 for McDonald Road additional lanes.
So moved.
Second.
27, recommend approving preliminary and final plat of Gates Estates.
So moved.
Second.
28, recommend approving supplemental agreement number 1 with Southern Land and Development LLC, Glenway Drive, to increase the contract by $2,628 for modifications to existing driveway.
So moved.
Second.
29, recommend assigning a contract for additional professional design engineering services for McDonald Road additional lanes to Volker, Inc.
So moved.
Second.
Number 30, recommended rejecting all bids for Theodore High School Baseball Fieldhouse Parking Lot Project and authorize a rebid.
So moved.
Second.
And Commissioners, we have three add-ons. First add-on, adopt a resolution authorizing the County Commission to host the Mobile County Municipal Association dinner meeting and payment of expenses not to exceed $5,000 to be held June 18, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Add-on number 2, award bid -34-20, minimum of 1 to a maximum of 25 thermal temperature monitor systems bid for the County Commission to Guardian Integrators for their bid in the amount of $13,902.27 per unit.
So moved.
Second.
Are they handhelds, or is this part of the software that
This is part
monitors
of the
it?
cameras
Okay.
that's going on.
This is not photo ID, it's just temperature, right?
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
And the last add-on is adopt a resolution to immediately authorize the temporary use of Mobile Civic Center as a temporary courthouse annex to accommodate judicial duties and court proceedings pursuant to, but not limited to, Alabama Code sections such as 11-3-11 and 11-14-12, and remain in effect until June 15, 2021, in order for the elected or appointed judges to perform their duties in the Mobile County court system.
So moved.
Second.
Number 30, number 31, commission announcements and/or comments.
Ladies?
On this last one, do we have enough court police to be able to cover? Are they going to need additional people to cover? Because once it's designated and annexed, then I think we have responsibility for security.
Commission, Chief Doobie was involved with this process, but I'll have to check with him. He did not ask for additional personnel for this, but I'll verify that.
And the other thing, on our unified command call this morning, the mayor mentioned that they were going to be reaching out to ask us about required mask in the atrium. And I think, Eddie, were you able to talk to anybody to find out exactly what the request is?
I think we still need some more communications with the city, but they had a staff meeting this morning, and their direction from that staff meeting was to continue to push for more stringent mask usage, including all meetings with contractors or even interdepartmental interactions. In summary, their policy, if someone comes within 6 feet, it's mask up. And that's the message they're putting out. I think we need to talk some more about how that affects
And
Government Plaza as a whole.
Whose call is that? Is that city, county?
That is just how the city is planning to approach mask usage.
Okay.
No, they were going to make on the call this morning, the mayor mentioned that they were going to make a request for going mask in the atrium. Which I think is our call. If
It's certainly the prerogative of the city, however they choose to handle precautionary measures during their own meetings, in their own office space areas. As far as the atrium of Government Plaza, you can throw rocks and not hardly hit people. There's just not that many people coming in and out that are in that close proximity. I guess I question the need for it in the atrium. Now, in a meeting, it may be different, and that's a choice to be made by which governmental entity that's handling the meeting. But in the atrium, I really honestly do not see the need.
I second that. Any other business?
I felt obligated to raise it.
Thank you. Any other business? All right. Y'all have a great week.
We need to adjourn.
Go ahead.
Number 32, approve request for motion to adjourn until June 22nd, 2020.
So moved.
Second?